Okay, so here is a second changing meter rhythmic dictation. And again, I'm going to do it with a melody that also modulates, and so you can also use it as a melodic dictation for modulating melodies. So we're going to start off in the key, we're going to start off in this key signature. And you should hear what quality the key is from this tune. All right, so here is the... Oh, wait. Let's talk about this for a second. We are doing this melody so that, again, with equal note value. And this time, I've put in this little thing here that tells you that eighth note equals eighth note. So you know that when we go from 3/4, even though 3/4 has 3 beats and 6/8 has 2 beats of dotted quarter notes, that they're going to be the same length. So the beats will be longer in 6/8. And in other words, if we had a equal beat value, we would conduct this 1, 2, 3, 1 and a 2 and a. But in this case, we're having equal note value, so the beat value will change, and then we'll conduct it with 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and when we get to the 6/8. Right, so that is what tells you to do that. So now I'm just going to erase my little highlighting, and we can once again look at the melody. So the melody will modulate. I've written the correct key signature. Sorry. Oh, and you're getting a harp for this one. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. I think I lifted up a little soon at the end, but here's a second hearing. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, you may pause. Here's a third hearing. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, let's talk about it. So, the first thing that we're going to deal with is the rhythm. We'll do this as a melodic dictation afterwards, but the first thing we're dealing with is the rhythm. So you should hopefully already have this done so that we can talk about it. You can compare with what you did. But if you have no idea where to start, I guess you can just follow along. So we had da 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 da. That da 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 we should just be able to hear as a word. In our, if you know my food groups from way back, we'd have this French toast, watermelon. But in my class we use takadimi, so we'd know this as tadi, takadimi. Either way, takadimi not only helps you break down what's happening within a simple meter beat, in this case, but also you can sort of hear that there is a word that's associated with these things. So this is a tadi, and this is a takadimi. And when you hear that word, that's a good thing. Then you just know how to write it. Just as when we had the tadidas in our other, in the other melody. I'm going to write tadida down here, even though I don't think it happens in this melody. But tadida, I want you to always do that one correctly, okay? Since I don't think it's relevant to this. Oh, wait. Maybe it is. So, all right. So here we go. Let's look at what we do in the second measure. So remember, the eighth note stays steady between the 3/4 and the 6/8. So we have ta-di, ta-di, taka-dimi, ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. Well, now we're in 3. So now we're going to, if we're using takadimi, we'll use tavakidi dama. If you were saying tavakidi dama, while you heard this melody, tavakidi dama, all you need to know is where did those things happen compared to those syllables. And indeed, so this is the beauty of takadimi, you can work out that that's tavakida. So that would be the word tavakida. Here I should write it in the right place. How about that? And then, having figured that out once, we also heard it repeat. So, wow, we didn't have to figure it out twice. We only had to figure it out once. Tavakida. And then we were back in 3/4. Da. Well, that wasn't hard. That was just steady 8th notes. Yay! And then we had the next 6/8 measure. Now remember, we're going from 1 and 2 and 3 and to 1 and 2 and. So if I were to count that underneath this other piece, and you heard 1 and 2 and well, there's a couple things that you might have noticed. There certainly something happened on each downbeat. Also, you heard da-dum on the and at the. In fact, you might have recognized that second half of the bar as a rhythm that you've heard earlier in the piece. Da-da-da-da, tabaki-da. And the first thing, da-da-da, it's a thing we know and love, it's ta-di-da. So, great, so I want you to be able to hear the ta-di-da, tabaki-da-ta. And then, of course, this last measure was just one whole measure full of stuff. And so that would be, in this case, 3/4, which means a dotted half note worth of time. So now let's work it out as a melody, but you can see the rhythm, at least in my shorthand, which is basically notes, stems and beams without note heads. But let us leave that up there in red, and we'll switch to blue for notating the melody. Now, it's a modulating melody, so we have to think of where it modulated from. And since I didn't tell you where it started, you probably also need to think, where did it start? What key did we start in? So if I tonicized it before I started, and here is the tune. So where did we start? Where was our starting? Well, where do you hear do now? Do. But where did you hear do at first? Do. Okay. Now, first of all, we know, you probably also hopefully heard that we started on do. So, there's our do. And we know what the rhythm is. So now we can write out that first part, and when we finished, we ended on do. What is that in the starting key? We started here. You may have heard a 5th, but you have to remember that it was a 5th down. So, fa, mi, re, do. So we ended in C. And in fact, I just, once again, filled it in when in fact what I want to do is write a dotted half note. So there's our dotted half note. And we went from G to C. So let's look at, here's our G, and we started with do, do, di, 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 di. All right, so that was do, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, ti. Okay, and we already have our rhythm written above, so that makes it very easy to fill in. And then we had do, re, mi, do. Great, we can write that in. do, re, mi, do. And then we had a thing, but that was not T, it was te. Ooh, which we know, if we're in a major key, that te might indicate a secondary dominant of 4, and lo and behold, that te is in fact modulating us to the key of 4. So we're going to have to put in a natural there. I often do this afterwards, but te, do, re, te. But already that doesn't sound like te, do, re, te, does it? It sounds like what? Fa, sol, la, fa. Yeah. Fa, sol, la, fa. So then we can continue writing in the key of C major. All right, so let's work backwards in C major. We heard that the 6/8 measure also started on do. So we had do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, do. And we have the rhythm already written in, so we can just write that in. Well, that was pretty easy. And then there's just one more thing that we need to do before we go on, because remember that we modulated. We modulated actually starting right about there. And so everything after that modulation, if we really do hear it all in C major, we need to remember to cancel out this sharp everywhere we have an F. And indeed, we needed to add a natural to that note. Okay, so now we just have a little bit more. We started at so, well, we started at G, and this was do, ti, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do. Then we're going to hear this as fa, sol, la, fa. Then that went down by a step, so we just went to mi. And then you should hear that next. Now we can think of the 3/4 measure in C major. Mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi. And we know what the rhythm is for that. Mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi. And then what do we still need to do? Oh yeah, that fa needs a natural. So now we can check our whole melody and see if we did it right. So if we start at the beginning, we have do, ti, do, re, mi, do, ti, do, re, mi, do, te, which becomes fa in the new key, fa, sol, la, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, do. So that should be it. I will have another one of these up for you shortly.